There has been a lot of reservance, or maybe a better word for that is, there's been a lot of strong feelings, let's say, about Trey Lance starting for the San Francisco 49ers. And if I'm being honest, well, there's been mixed feelings, let's be honest. I feel like, Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten you in a place in a where that you are a game away. A couple years ago, or last year, a game away from the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, injuries, we get it. You guys had everybody was injured. We got it. Then the year before that, you were in the Super Bowl. So honestly, Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten you into a position where you can make it with Jimmy Garoppolo as your starting quarterback. The question is, where do you go from here? How do you get to that next level? Is Trey Lance the answer? And I think he is. I don't think the 49ers would have drafted him as a former top 5 overall pick. What was he, number 3 last year? If they didn't believe that he could take them to the next level. And I think he can. But at the same time, I get the idea of not wanting to mess something up good that you have right now. But if I may, if we're being honest on all fronts here, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the reason that you made the NFC Championship last year. He's not the reason that you made the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He's the reason that you're honestly you're right there. You're at the level you're close to the level you want to be, but you're not to necessarily where you want to be. And I think Trey Lance, for that matter, could take you to where you want to be. I'll stop saying it that way, but at the end of the day, I think Trey Lance deserves a shot. I mean, we're talking about a guy that I felt played pretty solidly in spot duty last year. Now, was, obviously from a rookie quarterback, were you expecting him to be amazing? No. Is there things to work on as with everybody? Yes, absolutely. But I still feel like Trey Lance is one of those guys that in all facets of his game and how he particularly can compare in this San Francisco 49ers offense, I think he's got a lot to offer. You talk about a guy that, threw for over 600 yards last year, 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Honestly, I have seen worse. I've been part of the Christian Ponder days. I think a lot of people have seen a lot worse. So I think he honestly is one of those guys that does deserve a second look. And I know at the same time, why would you switch up something that's, been pretty good for over the last couple of years? I will combat that with the idea of don't let good be the enemy of great. We also forget that Trey Lance also added a touchdown on the ground and 168 yards on 38 carries as well. So, if you're the 49ers, you already have arguably the best running game in the entire NFL. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. Obviously, Shanahan and company, they do a tremendous job of drawing up a lot of these different things. But you have one of the best, arguably, if not, you have arguably the best running game in the entire NFL. And it's not just because of running backs. You've got solid offensive linemen, a solid scheme, a solid game plan. And it's hard for NFL teams to stop you. But you know what would be even harder for NFL teams to stop you? To bring in a running back or a running quarterback like Trey Lance that can sling it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's been reports of he's got a wonky throwing motion that I've seen in camp so far. There's just a lot of other rumors going around. But what's the worst that could happen? I'll tell you what's the worst that could happen. You don't start Trey Lance. He is stuck behind a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, and he is Schrodinger's QB at this point. Honestly, I don't see the point. He was 1-1 last year in starting duty for the 49ers, and I think you could do a lot worse. I think at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, why did you draft Trey Lance? What was it? Again, top 3 at that position. You drafted him to be your franchise quarterback. You drafted him for a reason. It wasn't to push Jimmy Garoppolo. It was because you think he can be your franchise quarterback, and I think he deserves a shot. I don't care, about the idea of, well, what if we're worse? Okay, well, last time I checked, again, Jimmy Garoppolo was not the reason that you were in the position you were in last year. It was because you have a solid running game, a solid defense, a solid coaching staff, and I think that's exactly, if you're going to help out a young quarterback, especially, those are all key ingredients that you need and you have with the San Francisco 49ers. But let us know what you guys think. Does Trey Lance deserve a shot? Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think. Does Trey Lance deserve a shot as to be the starting quarterback with the San Francisco 49ers?